Welcome everyone. Satsang. Today, start with information, high-mindedness. So, the theory to what's high-mindedness, affirmations, or something by Fountain. People often speak of system as the mark of realism. In fact, in the universe without any visible center, one might justify to develop this understanding from any conceivable starting point. One's understanding, however, will only reflect who and what he himself is. A view from the depth lacks the perspective that can be achieved from the heights. From the mountaintop, all things are seen in their true proportion. Strive always to be the channel of high thoughts and inspirations. Never cooperate with anything that we are from. Remember, the universe is for each human being both a mirror and an affirmation. One who entertains high thoughts will be himself and noble. Let's affirm now high-mindedness. First, let's affirm it loudly. I will see goodness in everything. I will view the world around me out from the depths of matter. From the heights of divine aspiration. From again loudly, I will see goodness in everything. I will view the world around me out from the depths of matter and attachment. The heights of divine aspiration. I will see goodness in everything. I will view the world around me, not from the depths of matter and attachment, but from the heights of divine aspiration. From silently mentally, I will see goodness in everything. I will view the world around me, not from the depths of matter and attachment, but from the heights of divine inspiration. This is a reading from the source from Eternity. Demand that through all tests and trials, the love of God may never fail. It's the prayer from Master's Whispers from Eternity. Let me read through it. O Spirit, I care not if all sufferings come to me, all things be taken away from me. I pray only that may my love for Thee never fail through my own negligence. May my love for Thee burn brightly forever on the altar of my constant needs. So today's topic, I felt like it's very relevant to today's situation as well, where everybody is undergoing a lot of challenges in life, especially. So I felt like touching upon some of the real-time challenges what we face in day-to-day lives, and how the karma plays in our day-to-day lives, and how the Guru comes into our life, and how he rescues us and helps us to make us move forward in a stronger manner. The role of Guru we need to understand. So most important thing is this all shared by Swamiji, the Master himself. So to start with, actually, if you see the way Master lived his life at the end of his days, he had a lot of physical struggle and pain in his life because he took his karma on all his disciples. And he was really undergoing a lot of pain. Swamiji has also mentioned in many places. And Swamiji couldn't see that the disciples couldn't see him suffering. Because the reason he had this suffering is because he has to take his karma of his disciples. He has to work on it. That's the most important role of Guru. Right? So he takes care of the karmas, what he has, some of the karmas that he works for us. And so that's what he suffered at the end of his lifetime. But he showed what kind of changes he brought into the people's life. So in that way, if you see great masters like the masters you see here, right, they can be in two states, different states. Like they can be like us, be in the body, be attached to the body. Their mind can be down attached to the body, where they can feel this. Master himself said that I can feel the suffering and pain of the people around me. That's what he said. Actually. So when he's attaching his mind to the body, he can experience that. He can feel this pain and suffering. And at the same time, many occasions, many times, and his conscious state was in the highest state where he's not attached to the body. The way he showcased to people that he's not touched by anything, it's pain or suffering. That's how he demonstrated to me. So that's the most important thing, the lesson to understand. For us, especially as we meditate, as we do it spiritually, how to tackle in both ways. One way is that being in this physical body, we need to undergo a lot of challenges around this, but still, you see, when you go and meditate spiritually, evolve yourself, you will be able to handle it in a balanced way. You can center yourself in all the difficult situations where you don't need to be harmed by this kind of tough situations and real challenges. And that's what the great masters have demonstrated to us, the way they live their life. And Swamiji said that at one point of time, he said that not only the great avatars can do, we also can do that. We have that great willpower within us. For Swamiji, the way he lived his life is a great example, as a great disciple of Master. But at one point where he was visiting Italy, so that time he had a severe problem where he has to go for a dentist checkup. So the dentist called him and said that I think your tooth has been so damaged so much and you this close to the ground. It has to be operated where you will come for 4 cities, he said. And but Swamiji said that I don't want to go for 4 cities, I'll be able to take that in one session. And the way he took the pain and the way he used his willpower to come out of that situation is easy. You see, what he did is he said, don't give me anesthesia as well. I would say, I've been so blessed to be in this life, to take up all this, my master's blessing, and my life is completely filled with joy and happiest moments in my life, sharing this my master's teaching as well. Let me undergo some pain as well. So he took it in a positive way. And what he did is, when the doctor started operating, if you see, he just closed his eye and he was simply in the spiritual life. He was meditating. And the entire time, maybe 1.5 hours, he didn't have any kind of resistance for the pain. And everything went successfully. And he came over. So these are all the things what Swami also said, that we can also practice such things. We can also apply such things in our day-to-day life where we can come out of the situations and center ourselves in all these challenges. And and also another story shared by Swamiji, where Swamiji was a master, where all the disciples were like preparing a huge concrete slab where they want to kind of take a print of Master's palms in that concrete slab where he was holding his hands on the concrete slab. Something went wrong and his foot was below the concrete slab where just fall down on his Master's foot. And Master, suddenly you can see Master's face, and Swamiji said that. You can see the tremendous pain in his face. And then he said, hold on. He said that, okay, now I'm undergoing pain because my mind is attached to the body, suffering and pain, and undergoing. But hold on for a second, he said that, and he lifted his eyes and focused. And immediately you could see the pain vanish, and he was absolutely fine. He was able to walk. And again, he did this exercise 3 to 4 times, and he showed how to switch between the being in a conscious state attached to the body and being the conscious state where nothing is touched. The next day he has to go to Sunday service, his legs were swollen, and still Swamiji, everybody was worried that how he would be able to walk. 2 moments I think he was absolutely fine. He gave a wonderful speech in that sense. So that's what the great avatars actually they show us how to take these challenges in our life. But it's not small things, but it's big things that to realize in our life, how to apply these things. And also if you see the way the masters actually they showcase all this, how we take this karma. Like one of the incident where direct disciple of Master Ananda ji is Mata, basically. She was staying with Master in the ashram where She was following the Guru said, and her Guru said, and it's all went fine. I think at one point there was a interruption in a spiritual path where her own brother actually was against all these things. He came in the previous way to hurt master. He said that you've taken my sister away and something started. But he came all the way close to master. Master was meditating in the first floor, in his meditating room, and he was meditating deeply. At one point, what happened is he knew that this person is coming. And he wanted that room come step inside of my room, actually, but he didn't listen to him. So what happened is he said that suddenly he even though he didn't follow master's words, he suddenly felt that there was fire around him, that a burning sensation. He ran away from master, and then master went behind him and he healed him. So it's not that great gurus they curse people or something like that, but it's a kind of experience. The action, the thought, what they're putting on hurting people or trying to harm people. That is what definitely the karma instantly it pays off to the particular person. That's what this particular story talks. See. So the masters, the great gurus, is always when they are in our life. They always protect us in various ways, even though there are interruptions and hindrances in our path as we progress in our spiritual path. And the great gurus are always with us, and they will try to avoid such kind of hindrances and instructions in the path. They are the path, make us stronger to move forward. Okay? And also, there are a lot of tests which also the great avatars they undergo. Though they are in this physical body, in this physical plane, so they also undergo a lot of tests. One of the inspiring stories Swami shared is telling us Swami when he was in his body, one of his disciples, what he did, he mixed the poison in his juice and he served it. And then he knew that this is something harmful for him, but he drank it and he showed the case that nothing touched him. And finally, he said that, and the disciple said that, okay, just forgive me, what I did a big mistake to you. And he said that, then the Swami said that, okay, forgive me. That's what these are all the inspirations how the masters, I think, they showcase how there's nothing, none of the karma, and none of the things they touch them in this body. That's a very important thing. So there are a lot of such incidents where great masters have showcased themselves, how they protect their disciples, and also the way these masters they give the love for us, fundamental love they give us. And we should always be attuned to this, their love, what they're sharing. We should also follow their footsteps, what they're given to us. But some people, like Swamiji shared as a own experience, some people when they don't acknowledge or they go against those things, what happens is there will definitely a kind of that karma will definitely get face off. That's what happens. That's things happens. So such things, incidents have happened to many people, and one of the person where the disciple himself, like one of the person was trying to hurt master. Suddenly he got impacted with the disease. This is not that guru is trying to curse him or something. It's a karma what they create and they undergo this. That's the most important thing. And at one point when Dr. Lewis advanced the cycle of Param Sivanandaji, where he was with him, and he saw a person who was handicapped. Master said, very seeing at him and very sad for him. Master said, it's all his past incarnation of karma, what he has to undergo. He didn't take care of his mom in the past life. And that's why he is doing all these things. So this is all like whatever we are trying to work on this karma, millions of lifetimes. We have to cross through all these things. Only the Guru's blessings and the teachings and techniques what they have given is the only way to liberate ourselves. That's what. Okay. So another important thing is the Guru's role, especially when we undergo some challenging times. The Guru's role, how we protect us from this kind of challenging times we have, is basically, if you see, when a huge blow, we are going to take it from a karma, right? What happens is, that's the point where Guru comes in. He takes that blow of that particular karma, and then he will be less affected. And that I think that everybody would have experienced in their lives, and even I've experienced many times. And something big would have been happened for me, but it would just touch and go. Those kind of experience everybody would have seen that. So this is all the experience, like how Guru plays an important role in our life, taking care of our life when we have such challenging times. And so it's very important thing to understand all these aspects of how Guru plays an important. And so this karma is like, if you see, this one person was telling that I can understand all your teachings and everything, but how come you're suddenly saying that if I go and dip in Ganges, how many sins will go away? What is the point in practicing this teaching? He asked. But he said that, yeah, that's one side it's true, but Swamiji said very clearly that you think that past life incarnations of karma, what we had, is like just like in one deep in the Ganges, like everything will flow away. It's not the case. You see, great avatars, Master himself said that there's no difference between you and me. Like we are all same. The thing is, only difference between you and me is I put a lot of effort to realize what he said. And so everybody, so Swamiji clearly said that even if you put a lot of hard work at how masters and how great masters demonstrate, you can go to that state. Master himself has said that you can be a Krishna, you can be a Jesus. You can go to that state until you put your effort on. He said. So this is all like a really important thing to understand from their lifetime. And one important thing is when these great gurus, they give us tests as well. We have to also undergo a lot of tests. Divine Mother tests us in various ways. And the great gurus, they know our past karmas and incarnations are incarnations, what we have undergone. And they know that when they give this particular test to us, we need to accept in a calmful way and take it and offer everything to everyone. So what happened is once, I think it's a very famous story about Babaji, like one disciple, one of the disciples, he wants to become a disciple of Babaji. He climbed all the way to Himalayas. He saw Babaji and his entire camp sitting there. And he called Babaji that you should accept me as your disciple. But at one point, Babaji said that no, you can't accept. And he said, I'll jump off from the cliff. But he said, Babaji said, yeah, go ahead. So he jumped off, and then Babaji said, asked his disciples to bring him this story, and this dream again brought back his life. And then he accepted. So this is one of the big tests which the great avatars they test the disciples to see how ready they are, spiritually how they evolve. And if you see one of the stories shared in Master himself by Adi Shankaracharya, there was a woman around Adi Shankaracharya where she used to always be negative in many aspects. So where she used to always think about negative thoughts, and she said, oh, something will happen to me. Tomorrow I may die. But Adi Shankaracharya immediately said that, okay, die. So immediately she went to, she died as well. So these are all like, the negative things is you have to be very conscious about when you have this negative thoughts in your challenges like this. Because for that particular thought, you're adding more and more energy, and there's a magnetic field around that energy where you're doing this thoughts, where this is going to hugely impact you, even though the Guru's presence is there in our life. Definitely, when you build this negative or bad thoughts or bad karma around that, it's going to definitely influence. So, should be very careful the way you're putting your thought out, putting the energy on top. It's very important. So think in a positive way, put it in a positive way, so that all this magnetism, what you're building around the energy in positive thought, will help you to uplift yourself. It's very good. So this is all the very important thing, how we should cross through our challenges in our life. And one more important thing is, so always, we should always think in a positive way to earn good karma around us and having positive thoughts. If you are putting a negative influence or thought in some your day-to-day challenges, definitely it's going to be impact. So love God and always share whatever you get in your life, share it with God and offer everything to God. And Master always says that God is the doer. We should always offer everything. And that's how we can progress in a steady way in our day-to-day life with all our challenges. So one video I just came across, I was just relating to Swami's video where relating to this challenges what we are facing today. You see the entire world is facing a lot of diseases, economic crisis and energy crisis. We see a lot of things which is happening around. So we have the outside challenges as well. We have the inside challenges as well, where we have to tackle our lives. And I have recently had really tough times in our professional career where suddenly people have started leaving the laid off, and things are becoming more pressurized on one person, and you have to take care of the responsibility of it. So, so these kind of things, like challenges you might face every day, like kind of things what you might get in, but how this Guru's role in our life will uplift us by following all these techniques and teachings what we have. We just realize what we have from experience. So to handle this kind of challenges, I just went through the Swamiji's video, and he has already predicted these challenges what this world will face. And you see, we can see that wonderful video about how to overcome this kind of karmas in our day-to-day life. And it's just a short video. You can just watch through it.
We talked in recent days about karma. It's very important to understand that karma is not something absolutely fixed. It's not a kismet. It is an energy devoted in a certain direction. You can change that karma by putting out energy in the other direction. There are several things you can do. You can wear astrological rings or bangles of some kind. The advice of a guru can help to guide you, but the guidance itself is always to put out a nullifying energy. For example, my guru told me that in past lives I was eaten up with doubts. Well, we all had something. This has been mine. And you know, when you break a bone and it heals, that part of the bone that's healed is a stronger bone. And so also when you've had a fault and you've overcome it, it becomes a stronger part, a stronger virtue. So don't regret anything. But the thing is that what my guru told me to do was right, teach, help other people to resolve their doubts. It's not that I have the doubts, but I need to really knock that karma on the head. And I'm very happy to do it. I'm very happy to share. I want to share. But my particular role seems to have been to share in such a way as to help people get rid of their doubts, to help them to have faith, to understand. And I'm grateful for that. But everything you've done is a particular wave of energy. And if you can do a nullifying energy, put out a nullifying energy, this is why karma yoga is so necessary. I've read in Western writings where they say that they think the Bhagavad Gita is that the answer is don't do anything and then you won't get karma. You'll get karma by not doing anything. You get karma for breathing. You get karma for thinking. Even your dreams create a certain kind of karma. You can't get rid of action, mental, emotional, physical, it doesn't matter. What you have to do is put out a nullifying energy to break that karma, to nullify it. And so your particular duty depends on, well, a guru can tell you, but in your inner self, there probably will be some sort of feeling of something you do. Actually, to find out what your destiny in life is, what your work in life is, it would help you also to think back to the first 6 years of your life. During those years, the tendencies you were brought over with will still be uppermost, be strong. I remember when my parents, when I was 7, I think, at this time, and I believe I may have told this story before, but I showed them an essay I'd written for school, very simple, at the age of 7, of course, and they told me there were too many ands in my sentence. Well, I knew they were right. I didn't have any question about it. But I was so surprised at the instinctive reaction that came into my mind. Who was anyone to tell me how to write? That means because I was a writer before. And I had that memory of having been one. Well, it was a decent reaction, unfortunately. I wasn't stupid enough to voice it or even to take it seriously. But I was surprised at myself for even having such a thought. Well, look back at your past and think what tendencies did you have? And also think in terms of what came naturally to you in the way of reaction. Do you react to certain situations in a negative way? Learn to react in a positive way. To react to certain people in a negative way, certain types of people. Learn to overcome that. You can overcome much karma, get to the source of it, and put out the blocking kind of energy. But karma is not isn't it? It's something you have developed and something that you need to uh, get rid of if you were to find God. What happens is that each karma is sort of a seed in the spine that pulls you downward. It's like an anchor, it's hard to rise. And even a Jivan Mukta is both held back to some extent by that karma of the past. So what we need to do is raise our consciousness by getting rid of those things that are impeding us. Now, a Jivan Mukta can look back and remember specifically what he did and offer it to God. But can't you also feel that in your own nature, even if you don't know what your tendencies are, even if you don't know what you've done, just constantly give yourself to God. Say to God, I am yours. Everything I've done belongs to you. Don't cling to anything as your own. You'll find yourself, if you do this every night, make yourself a bonfire and throw into that bonfire every attachment, every desire, and bit by bit you will begin to find yourself being free. Even if you don't know the karma you're getting rid of, you will find a certain freedom this way. Remember, the whole goal of spiritual effort is first to cling to God, to love Him, to embrace Him, to become one with Him. But we also have to do the work, as I said, open the curtains. That work really is getting rid of all this burden that's carrying with us. And that burden always comes back to the simple thought, I. If you get rid of the thought, I, and feel that, God, you've done everything for me. You know, that's not a passive thought. It takes, first of all, a great deal of energy. Secondly, you find that if you cooperate with it, it's an enormous amount of energy. Lazy people are not the ones who achieve anything. You must put energy into your striving if you would understand who you really are. So karma is all important. There is karma of individuals, there's karma of nations. I know when I was in Cambodia in 1958, I went to visit Angkor Wat in Bangalore. And I felt there was a sort of a dark cloud over that. And look what's happened to it since then. I feel there's a cloud over Germany now. And Germany certainly has the bad to fail. It's doing well right now, but it will have to pay for that. I know my guru prophesied that Europe will be devastated and Russia will be annihilated. These are realities that are born of karma, the karma of a nation. And what Hitler decided, what a few Nazis decided, they decided on the part of the nation. I've met many wonderful people, kind, loving, supportive, helpful. But their whole nation has to think in terms of what certain people have done on behalf of that nation. And they've created bad government too. Russia has created terrible government. Look at the reign of Satsang. You can't wipe your hands of those things. But you can try to correct it by being serviceable, by helping people. If the Russians are now many of them are God, this is the best thing they can do. If they would try to help other countries, this would help a great deal. But few countries think this is one of the wonderful things about America. In history, I don't know of an example of a country that was attacked, beat its enemy, stood back. That's what America did. So it's anything you like in history. Those things are true. And in fact, people, when they vote with their feet, they're going. But we're coming to a very different time. And the government of the world is not right. There's been much selfishness, much bloodshed, much persecution, and this all has to be paid off before we can soar freely into this new age of Dwapara Yuga. So we will see that there will be international war, atomic bombs. there, I know Mr. Kapitan, he was the former CBI, and he told me that there are 35,000 known atomic weapons. No, there's been all those. How can those things be and not expect some sort of it's fun? There's still too much violence in here. And this is one of the reasons I've tried to create and have created successfully 8 communities in the world so people can learn it, to live closer to one another, to be friends with one another, to work cooperatively, to grow their own food, not to worry so much about where the money is coming from, their food is coming from. Greed is creating a tremendous depression. We've only seen the first little breath of it. There'll be a time when people can't bring food into cities. They'll be stopped before they can come in. People will be starving to death. It won't be easy. But if you remember that this karma can be changed, the answer to karma is generosity. The answer to karma is give to others, share with. If we think that way, we will come through everything scale. But this cloud over the world, it's over certain countries more than others. It's over all countries. America too is back then. I know my language. It's strange that you didn't mention the Negroes, but certainly we got some bad government. The interesting thing is, first of all, that they were sold by their own people. And I know a black friend of mine went back to Nigeria, and he came back to America. He said, "Now I see the positive side of slavery, because the blacks in America being educated would be able to live the whole African continent." But there was a lot of black magic in the descending group. Even today, there's a lot of black magic. These didn't create that. And that will be fake. But all of Africa, it's really sort of a black country. I remember going into the Cairo Museum, all sorts of very strongly the presence of black magic there. There's a certain aura. Some people have gone there who, after visiting that museum, have come out and they're sort of confused. There's some power in the world, the power for negativity. Now, it's almost as strong as the power for positivity. We have to work in such a way that we give more love for our community people. But Africa will come up. We have the same nervous system as nothing. Is there color that's holding? The color of your skin doesn't matter at all. I know many people in India like our colored skin. I think the Chinese have it right. They say we have 100 crooks. Well, anyway, the thing is that what your skin is not your true race. Your race is ask you what kind of a person you are in yourself. Are you a Shuddha? Living only in terms of feeding yourself and having physical pleasure, not using your brains. Animals, when they come up to the human level or that level, they don't know yet that they have an intelligence to use. Then they begin to see that with little intelligence, they are able to accomplish much more. And so they become Vaishyas. And the Vaishya is able to use his intelligence to get for himself, but he doesn't think about other people. But then gradually he begins to understand, gradually realize that, well, maybe I'm not finding what I want this way. Maybe I should be more giving of myself. It's a gradual evolve of Kshatriya. And the Kshatriya, they symbolize the Kshatriya as somebody, a soldier, but really what it means is somebody who's willing to give up his life. In other words, somebody who's willing to serve. Then people come to the point where they understand that service is best if you can enjoy, not just do things for physically. So you become a Brahmin. And go beyond the breath. But you see in this also, there is a trap because Tantric people, my God, they're still in themselves. And so the difficulty with Sattva is, the Sattva guna is that you become lazy, go back to a Shuddha, and then actually rise and fall, and go back to an animal state for one life and go back again. It's an endless process. You can go on for days of Brahma, as I said before, until finally you wake up. It's beyond the Buddhas. Sri Buddha beyond everything. And to become one. That is the freedom. See, you know, they say in the scriptures that one moment in the company of a saint can be your raft over the ocean. Because the magnetism of the saint can implant into you that understanding in your soul that what I really am is this. And if you can use that desire in people, that too is a desire, and it will have to be fulfilled. And so once to have the desire of God puts you already on the road to salvation. That is the most important gift that they long to know who they are. They long to know they long spiritual freedom. Your goal in life finally is to know who you are, why you are here. Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself the right questions. Science doesn't answer them right. It asks useless questions. Nobody says, why am I here? What is the source of this person? Nobody's asking this question. Who am I? And gradually tracing yourself back to your source, you realize that there is something more than this ego. Something is dreaming. Something is dreaming. Everything also recognize yourself. You'll see that you are really another Krishna, another Christ, another beauty. So that is your destiny. You can't avoid it, but you can. Today it's fine.
So I just want to read Satsang. Reading the conversation. So with one experience of the master, so it's describing to some of us or our benefit what we have in us. This experience was not physical, though it affected the physical body. It was astral in nature. Demonic entities were torturing me. Some of them were shaped like saws, others like corkscrews. They were working on the legs of my astral body. Christ's crucifixion was bad, but it was over in few hours. This torture went on for months. Sometimes I kept my consciousness down to the physical body so that I might experience suffering as others do. A nurse was hired to care for me. She was completely materialistic and was actively hostile to the truths we teach here. Every time she turned toward me as she had to be, because I couldn't calm myself, she did the deliberate unnecessary force of feelings for the pain it caused. At one moment there was appeared in my forehead. There appeared in my forehead a blue light of destruction. The Divine Mother's voice told me, give it to her. I could have destroyed that woman at a glance, but I knew this was God's test. Do as you like, we prayed. It's all your. So the way Master underwent even himself underwent pain and sufferings in his astral body, the way what the message is telling us here is whatever happens, I think it's all divine grace here to undergo for everything. And it will be taken care. So that's the message. We have to do now is to